Have you ever felt like your dreams were too big for your world? Like the world was speaking English and you were stuck behind a glass wall, just watching? I've been there. My name is Maria, and this is my story. I grew up in a small village, the kind where everyone knows each other, where time moves slowly, and where dreams often stay just that, dreams. We didn't have much. My family worked hard just to get by. There were nights we had to choose between electricity and food. Education was a luxury, and English, that was something you only saw in movies. At 17, I could barely say, "Hello, how are you?" Speaking English out loud made my stomach twist with fear. I remember hiding at the back of the class, avoiding eye contact, praying the teacher wouldn't call on me. But deep inside, I wanted more. Not just for me, but for my family too. I wanted to help, to travel, to understand the world beyond the mountains surrounding my village. One day, everything changed. It was an ordinary afternoon. I was helping my mother clean out our attic. Dust in the air, cobwebs in the corners, old pots, broken toys, forgotten papers. And then I saw it. A book. It was an old English textbook, barely holding together. The cover was faded, the pages were torn, but when I opened it, I saw handwritten notes, my older brother's. He had dreams too once. Holding that book felt like holding a piece of someone else's hope. And in that quiet attic, something inside me shifted. I whispered to myself, I will learn this. I don't care how long it takes, I will learn. At first, I didn't know where to begin. There was no money for classes, no internet at home, no one to practice with. So I did what I could. I borrowed DVDs from the library. I watched English movies with subtitles. I paused, rewound, mimicked the actors line by line. In the mornings, I listened to English radio on an old, crackling station. I didn't understand most of it, but I listened anyway, just to get used to the rhythm. I started talking to myself in English. Brushing my teeth, I'd say, I brush my teeth. Making dinner, I cut the vegetables, I boil the water. At first, I sounded like a robot, but every word gave me a little more confidence. And then I did something scary. I joined an online forum for English learners. It was full of people just like me, scared, excited, trying. I remember my first video call. My hands were shaking, my voice cracked. I said, "Hello, my name is Maria. I am from a village?" That was it. But the other learners smiled, nodded, and said, "Good job." And for the first time, I felt like I belonged. Day by day, I kept going. I spent hours in the library reading children's books. I wrote short stories in English, even if they were full of mistakes. I stuck Post-it notes on everything in the house. Door, mirror, fridge. I recorded myself speaking and cringed at the sound, but I kept practicing. My friends thought I was wasting time. They'd laugh and say, "Who will you speak English with? We're not going anywhere." But I didn't let that stop me. One quote kept me going. Every expert was once a beginner. And I knew, one day, I wouldn't be a beginner anymore. After a few months, I could have full conversations online. I made friends in Brazil, Japan, Nigeria. We practiced together. We laughed at our mistakes. We celebrated our progress. One friend told me, "Maria, your English is beautiful. You sound so confident." I cried that night because I didn't believe it, but I wanted to. Then came the moment that changed everything. I applied for a customer service job at an international company. The interview was in English. I was terrified. Before the call, I paced in circles. My heart was racing, my palms were sweaty. But then I remembered that attic, that dusty book, that promise I made to myself. I took a deep breath and I spoke. I got the job. Suddenly, everything changed. I was earning more than anyone in my family ever had. I could buy medicine for my parents. I could help pay for my siblings' education. I even saved enough to travel, something I never thought I'd do. I stood in airports, ordered coffee in other countries, gave presentations in English. I wasn't just speaking the language anymore. I was living it. Looking back, it wasn't just about English. It was about believing that I was worth the effort, that I could rise above where I started. Because learning a language is more than words. It's about freedom, confidence, new worlds, new possibilities. So if you're listening to this and you feel stuck, like English is too hard or you'll never be good enough, I want you to hear me clearly. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin. Start small. Talk to yourself. Laugh at your mistakes. Keep going, even when no one believes in you yet. Because you don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. Here's my challenge to you. Tonight, choose one simple sentence in English and say it out loud. Tomorrow, say 2 more. Write them, repeat them, sing them, play with them. Let English become a part of your day, not your fear. Because one day, without even realizing it, you'll look back and smile. You'll say, "I used to be afraid of English, but now, English is how I show the world who I am."
If you enjoyed this lesson, click here for another learning video.